We're not getting into that. Shout out to them. Yeah, royal family. I guess someone had a kid. Someone had a kid today.
Yeah, Megan.
Yeah, Megan. Shout out to you, Megan. Shout out to Harry. Harry's his name, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know this shit. I don't really care, but
I wonder if they're a football fan.
I'm pretty sure.
I think they have to.
I think, yeah. I'm pretty sure. I don't know about Meg. Call her Meg.
No,
Megan. No.
Yeah. I never saw her at BMO Field when she was here.
Why would she go there?
To see the legend.
That is
Sebastian Josie.
Josie? Anyhow, I'm not getting into that.
We don't talk about him anymore.
Oh, it's Flex.
Yeah, sorry. We're not picking that up right now.
Really?
Yeah, I don't care.
You usually pick up.
Yeah, I don't want to right now.
Do it.
No.
Pick it up.
No, she didn't.
She hung up.
Yeah. Pick that up later. Anyhow.
As you should.
Yeah.
We're live.
Yeah.
Direct.
Toronto, Ontario. It's May. Whatever's supposed to happen in May is happening in May right now. Playoffs, NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs. Blue Jays are here, and the lady downstairs told me that no one's going to the Blue Jays game, even though I think they're doing okay.
No, they stink.
Okay, whatever.
I just read an article that their attendance is down 40% from last year. That's what happens when you trade everybody away.
But that doesn't tell me if they're winning or not.
No, they're not winning, and their attendance is down.
Oh, so they're like TFC.
Attendance is not down for TFC, and we are winning.
Nice.
And we're third in the East with 2 games in hand.
That don't mean that they don't stink. I'll get to that later.
It's too early.
Anyone that cares about Toronto FC, TFC, and anything that has to do with MLS, we'll get to that at the end of the podcast. So if you're listening now and that's all you came for, click to an hour and 40 minutes and get your TFC fix, because everything else matters before that. With that being said,
save the best for last.
Yeah. Mic's on. I'm pretty sure the camera's on. My vibes are good. I'm not ruining my vibes on TFC, Cinco de Mayo, or the Royal Baby, because I don't care about the Royal Baby if they have nothing to do with me, and they don't. So that being said, everything's ready. Soundboard's ready. I'm ready. You're ready. Hugo's ready. It's the InnerViews Podcast, episode 74, live and direct from Toronto, Ontario. It's your guy, Tyrrell. Like I said, nothing is really popping downtown today. Maybe tomorrow, if Joel Embiid decides to be healthy and, stop making excuses and show up to the game ready to go toe-to-toe with the Claw, Kawhi, the best Raptors player to ever play, the next Michael Jordan, I don't know, whatever they're calling him now. Kind of soft, now we're not soft. Yeah.
We were soft?
Yeah, Chris, you didn't see the little Chris Broussard thing?
No.
He's like, I should have set up the little thing. This was funny. You know what, man? Canada's soft. What? They're just soft. And the Raptors are soft. And that's what he said. And then all the Toronto Raptors beat writers got upset. They ignore the fact that he said the Raptors are soft. How can you say Canada's soft?
This was before the game.
This was before game, yeah.
Before they won.
Yeah,
That game 4.
Yeah, it was before game 4. So he said that for game 3. And I got into an uproar. All the Toronto beat writers. I was like, man, relax. He said we're soft. Who cares?
Wait till game 4.
Yeah, let the basketball do the talking. I like Chris. And he has every right to say they're soft because they are soft.
Well, they got beat up in game 3.
How ain't soft?
The Raptors, Kawhi ain't really a Raptor. Kawhi's not really a Raptor. I know everyone wants to believe that he's a Raptor.
He's a rental.
He is far more than a rental. You see him on the bench. He hits his little buckets, just sits there by himself. You see the bench players try to talk to him. You don't care.
He's in the position.
You don't care. He knows to get the hell out of here. It's May and there's no sun. But if he goes to LA, the sun would have already been there.
Where do you think he's going?
Oh yeah, he's going to Clippers. 100%.
He's running your boy, right?
100%.
Oh yeah.
KD?
Oh, we'll see. That could happen too.
Yeah.
But the Clippers have everything there that he would want. He wants to be in LA. They got a good owner. They got Jerry West over there. They got an elite coach, and they have another max space where they could get Kevin Durant if Kevin Durant wants to go there, or they can get another superstar if they want. So I mean everything there is kind of going his way, and he's he wants where he wants to be. So, but yeah. That's a little basketball talk for today.
There we go.
We're gonna watch a game after. Dad go to sleep, but we're gonna watch a game after. So
your boys play tonight?
Yeah, they do.
Oh.
I know they're trying to kill Steph, eh? They trying to kill Steph. Oh. Steph trying to hit them with a little dunk. I was like, Steph,
you got roasted.
Steph, man, you made me stay up so you could miss a dunk.
Did you get blocked by the rim?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's embarrassing.
It was funny. Steph gonna flame these guys at some point.
At least he tried though.
I'm not saying he's gonna flame them tonight, but he's gonna flame them at some point.
What's the score? 2-1?
Yeah, it's 2-1.
Well, tough.
It's 2-1. He can dunk,
Who
but
they play? Houston? In Houston tonight?
Yeah, in Houston tonight. They'll be fine. They've usually Coach Kerr likes to adjust after they lose for some weird reason. Doesn't really have to do in-game adjustments, but
Well, because he's got to adapt to his mistakes.
yeah, so that's good for him.
If it works, he'll fix it.
Exactly. Anyhow, Dan, how was your weekend? How was young Dan? Danny C? Dad Summer of Dan?
It was good.
It was good? Heard you stepped into those 416 streets. Got it popping?
Yeah, I'll never do that again.
On my behalf?
Yeah.
Did you do me proud?
No.
No? Okay, at least you're honest.
No.
Streets weren't hot enough for you?
Yeah, no. You know what? I have officially just gotten too old for this neck of the woods.
You're washed?
Yeah.
I've always tried to think, because I'm an old soul, so it's like, there's got to be a place for the
Old souls?
Well, you're not an old soul. You're just, you're just old. No, I'm playing. There's got to be a place for the old souls to party nowadays. Plus 28 and up. I like to say that's kind of like the barometer. I'm not 28 yet, but I'm an old soul, so I count as like 29.
Okay.
But where the old souls party now? It's like
I have no idea.
I'm gonna crowdsource. Every older person I know. I'll be like, where do you guys go? A lot of them still hang out with the young folks, just kind of stay by themselves or try to. Well, I'm not gonna get into what the females do. So maybe I should ask the guys.
No, ask the females.
No, because you don't want to know some of those answers.
Okay, so how many? Okay, so then
some of them are there for a reason.
that's true.
Yeah.
Right.
There's a lot of stuff that happens on these wonderful financial streets once the sun sets.
But that area is not financial district.
Okay, well, you know what I mean.
Okay.
Just still an area. We're not going to cut off. Whatever.
Okay.
Well, yeah. There's a lot of stuff that happens in that area.
Yeah.
When the sun's up.
Yeah.
And the contrast when it's down. Oh man.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people in those suits. When the music is hitting.
Yeah.
And the drinks are flowing.
Do you know what I noticed? Some people, and I don't want to classify.
Watch your words.
Yeah, I don't want to classify
Watch
myself
your words.
but there are some people who try to get on that dance floor and should just sit their ass down.
Oh, I love it.
Oh, it's me.
I love it. I love the struggle moves. You're not here for the struggle moves?
No.
You're not here for the...
No.
You're not here for the struggle moves?
No. I honestly, me personally, I am not the Steph Curry dunking of dance, but I can bust a move. Not a fantastic dancer, but I can get around the dance floor. But there's just some people that I'm watching, they've just got no rhythm.
Maybe you just don't know the new moves.
Well, if those are the new moves,
maybe you're not hip with the new moves.
Well,
Maybe you're not in tone with the vibes.
I guess not.
I don't know.
Maybe he's hit, but he's missing the hop.
Maybe you're too cool.
Yeah.
You're too cool, Daddy C.
Yeah, so now I gotta find
Young
a new
dad?
place. I gotta find a new place.
Ah, new place. What about in your old town when you go out with selective people that I know? No one's busting moves over there?
No, there's some people who actually bust the move.
I only think of one person, but I don't gotta say names. I can only think of one person that is no longer in that group full time.
Okay.
That can hit a move.
No, she can.
Yeah, I know.
Yes. But there's others.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I need to see this.
Yeah, who are smooth on the dance floor.
Oh really?
And you will see it because
No,
on Wednesday night we're
no.
about to win a championship.
Okay, I don't know. I'm retired, so without being,
Yeah.
I'm retired to anyone listening to this, so I don't know what you're talking about. I'll definitely watch from a distance and cheer on, but
You're our Kawhi Leonard.
no, I'm definitely not. I have
Take a year
a
off.
soul. I have some character. I laugh properly. I don't know what else. I don't know. Whatever. His cornrows are intact.
I love Cowie.
Shout out to him. Anything else happened this weekend that excited you?
No.
Cinco de Mayo happened. The weather was nice. You got into the 416 streets twice. No stories for me.
Nope.
Next weekend, I guess I go into the 416 streets because the season's done next week, or the Premier League season's done.
This weekend.
This week, yeah.
This weekend is Mother's Day.
Okay. We're doing-
I just want to know, are you doing anything for Mother's Day?
I don't know yet.
Okay.
I guess I'm inclined to, but I don't know if I'm doing anything.
Alright.
But I'm definitely
I'm going back to my city because it is Mother's Day,
Okay,
so I'll spend some time with my mother.
that's nice of you.
Yeah.
How is your mom?
My mother is great. Thank you for asking.
No, Tyrrell.
She's fine.
Oh,
She ain't listening right now, so I don't care. She's good, man. She's
busy
good.
hustling,
She's
man.
good. She's
She's
good.
grinding.
She's good. She's good. No one cares about our mother, so I don't know why we're bringing them up.
It's Mother's Day
No,
next week.
Yeah, it's next week. It's not this week.
No, it's
not
this
Monday.
week.
No, it's not. Sunday is a new week.
Oh, fair.
Alright,
I hear you.
Anyhow, no one cares about that. Daddy trying to reveal what happened on his weekend because I don't know. Well, I don't know why you gotta hide stuff from us. You know, feel like you don't want to let me know what happened, and that's cool. But you don't want to let the listeners know what happened, and that's fine. One day I'm gonna dive into it. That's fine. One day we're gonna pick away at all these secrets that you keep from us. You know.
Episode 500.
Yeah, we're gonna break down everything that happened.
That's okay.
And I'm gonna figure that out, you know, because then we get to me. You know, I went out a few times this week, got it popping. Saw what the streets are like. Yeah. Everything's still a bit different.
Anyway, I don't ask home.
Okay.
Yeah. You said these streets suck.
No, I didn't say that. Okay. It's just different. Bars are still busy at this time. Bars during the week, they like to play a lot of live music. Are you guys fan of live music?
Yeah.
Okay. Just want to ask. And yeah, it was good, man. But it's cool. I don't mind it.
I prefer speaker music.
Okay. I don't know. So
I'm kidding. Honestly, I prefer live music.
Okay, no, I'm just asking, you know, because I guess...
Unless they're lip singing or...
Oh, really? Not like one of those, do you do karaoke?
Yeah, I do, but I shouldn't.
Okay, fair enough. I know Dan don't. I'm just gonna leave that there.
No, I don't.
I
do not.
Danny C is too cool to do karaoke. No. I could tell in your vibes.
No.
Anyhow, since no one wants to reveal anything that happened this weekend, this is the last week where I'm gonna grind, and then I guess this whole podcast is gonna be a bunch of stories because we ain't really got not much to talk about once the season's done. You know, we're gonna talk about TFC for an hour. Oh God.
Well, there goes our listeners.
Yeah, that should say something to you about them if no one really cares.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
TFC. Also, shout out to that other league that started. I didn't watch anything from that this week. Did you watch your local league this week?
No.
Oh, that's great. Well, shit. I guess we're not going to get those viewers. You know, they're really trying.
They're starting their own podcast.
They already started their podcast.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Everybody has their own podcast.
I'm going to listen to it this weekend.
Okay.
This week, I will. See what they're talking about. See how they're hyping up the league. They're kind of recording everything. History is being made. Shout out to the pioneers of that league. Shout out to them. They don't get an air horn.
Do not.
But shout out to them. They do matter. But with that being said, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. I don't want to be here. I do want to be here too long. We're going to be back here on Thursday to break down whatever's left in the Champions League, right? So that is priority too. So I'll give you 3 days to decide whether you want to tell us what happened this past weekend or whatever happens these next few days, and we'll get into that. And as for me, I'll just be chilling because yeah, we got stuff to do, and we got games to read out. We also got something that's in the works right now. I guess I shouldn't really announce it till it happens. So
I don't even know what this is.
I know you don't know what it is. I said this last week. You didn't know what it is, and then I told you what it was, and now you don't know what it is.
Give us a hint.
But no, something's gonna. We're gonna switch things up a bit here at the InnerViews Podcast.
Oh, no, okay. They were talking about that. Okay.
So we're gonna get to that. But I don't really want to. We're just gonna let it happen.
All right.
Don't want to make it a big deal. Yeah.
That's fine.
But it's going to happen. So just giving people that little pre-warning now. And it's going to be raw, uncut, authentic, organic, unfiltered soccer/footy analysis because this is the best soccer/footy podcast in the world. And I clicked the wrong button. But it's the best soccer/footy podcast in the world. And we just had to let you know that. So, Dan, since you have nothing else to say, we got to give a shout out to the YouTube subscribers, everyone on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Spreaker, iTunes, and to those that use Android devices and whatever Android apps you use on that. Shout out to you guys. Get an iPhone. It's 2019, please. And shout out to everyone on Facebook. Just Facebook. No, Instagram, Twitter, Quora. And I think that's about it. We're giving a shout out to them.
Yeah.
They do matter.
Okay.
You never given them a shout out?
No,
you don't shout anyone.
No, you're the shout out guy.
There's no you. Okay, fair enough. Shout out to everyone on Facebook, Spotify, Quora, iHeartRadio, Twitter, Instagram, and any other social media app that we are on. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to all the independent men, independent women, everyone that's out in these streets today doing what they're doing. And I think that's about it. Not really in the mood to shout everyone out.
I got one shout out.
Oh God, where would you shout out?
I'm gonna shout out Fabs.
Wow.
Because he's getting married next weekend.
I don't care. Why would you shout him out when he gets married?
Well, this is a pre-shout-out.
And then you're going to shout about next week, oh, he's getting married this week. And then shout about the next week, oh, he's on his honeymoon at somewhere, but not here. And then you're going to shout out, no, I don't care.
This is the guy who shouts him out every week.
No.
You shout him out every week.
No.
This week, no.
No, I said that was coming to an end. So no, we're taking back that shout out.
Okay.
Screw that shout out. No faps. Sucks to suck. No shout out to you. He knows it's all love. No, we're shouting him out every week. It's done. It's over. It's made. No more shout out for Fabs. Shout out to independent men, independent women, everyone that's out there on their grind, the young kids, the teachers, the principals, the cafeteria ladies. Shout out to the lady downstairs at Pizza. Shout out to the cabbies. Keep doing what you're doing. Shout out to the TTC workers. Keep grinding. Keep doing what you do because you matter, even though everyone in the morning and in the rush hour traffic says that you don't matter. You do matter. Shout out to everyone doing Uber Eats. Shout out to those doing Lyft. Shout out to the Uber drivers. Shout out to everyone on Tinder. There was some other app that I saw that I didn't know, but some girl put on her story. It doesn't matter. Shout out to everyone on Bumble for all the reasons that they should be and shouldn't be. Shout out to the bartenders that we'll see in a bit. Shout out to everyone that's doing their thing. Everyone that's working in the hotels, parking lot attendants. Keep doing you. Shout out to the podcasters. Keep potting.
All of them.
Life's Potter's Pod.
Yeah.
Keep potting. Shout out to Toronto Soccer Podcast. This is the best soccer/footy podcast in the world. Don't forget, we're here. We're not going anywhere, and we're going to keep doing what we're doing. So with that being said, if Dan is ready, because he's been begging to start this podcast, and I want to see where he's going to go first, but I already know where we're going first. But if Dan's ready, I'm ready, Hugo's ready, and tired of me shouting out everyone, well, then you know what time it is. You know what time it is. It's the InnerViews Podcast, episode 74, live and direct from Toronto, Ontario. It's your guy, Tyrrell. A lot of shit happened this week. It starts in Manchester, and it may end in Manchester. Well, I don't think it ends in Manchester, but it's going to end in Brighton. So we think.
Yeah.
So we think, because today, looked like it was going to go elsewhere. We thought that perhaps it would end in Anfield. A lot of people were getting nervous. The City fans were getting nervous. People that were watching were getting nervous. The City players were getting nervous. Pep was getting nervous. Nerves at the Etihad. They were starting to build. No one knew what was going to happen. And then Vinny stepped up. We don't even got this sound. I don't care about sound. Vinny stepped up. No one closed him down. He walked to the box. No one closed him down. He didn't want to shoot. They didn't want him to shoot. And then Vinny shot. And it hit the top of the corner. And Manchester City won.
Yep.
1-0 again. And that's been kind of the theme. They won 1-0 here. They won 1-0 against Spurs. They won 1-0 against Burnley. They beat United 2-0. This is the way that Manchester City, Pep Guardiola's Manchester City are closing out the season. They said that they can only play one way, but they're showing us they can do it another way. And all they are they're 1 win away from the Premier League title, and they'll be the first team to retain the Premier League title since 2008, 2009, Manchester United, when they won on the little 3-peat. The Premier League's back in terms of having elite squads. They got 2 of them. They're not great squads. They're not all-time great squads, but they're elite, and they're here. And Manchester City is showing us how difficult it is to retain the Premier League title. Like I said, no one's done it in over a decade, and Guardiola is 1 win away from doing it. How do you feel, Dan? What are you thinking? Wow. What's going through your mind?
Well, you know what? I think you summarized it very well. I watched that game, and for long stretches of time, I didn't think they were going to find the breakthrough. Leicester were full value, and if they were a little bit more clinical in front of goal early on, they could have potted a couple in early, which would have changed the whole tie. But like you mentioned, that's really the result of champions. They dug deep for this one, and look, this was their true final hurdle. I don't see them dropping points against Brighton or some miracle that they tie, they lose, whatever. Look, at the end of the day, and I've said this before, I feel bad for Liverpool because they're going to end up with 97 points. Is it 98?
No, because who knows that? Who says they're going to be Wolves?
No, assuming both win.
Lose the Premier League and
Can't
have
assume
97 points.
Can't assume that against Wolves.
No,
based off this season.
Yeah, you're right. But they need to win.
Yeah.
And look, like you said, Wolves is Wolves.
I did not say anything about Wolves because I hate Wolves. But
I know, but Wolves has taken a number of points off top teams. So
top.
Are they fighting for anything?
7th.
Is that a
With
Europa
Leicester?
Liga?
I think.
it is.
Something to fight for.
What we're gonna say about Wolves?
No, I think even if even between the two of them, City have the easier game.
Why does everyone think going to Brighton is so easy?
Because
That's one of my questions.
Because you're an elite squad.
They played each other in the FA Cup semi-final, and City narrowly got by.
yeah,
Brighton just went to the Emirates and got a result there. Brighton beat Manchester United this season at home.
okay. Well, let's not talk about that other team.
But City, they look exhausted. They're just getting by. I don't understand why everyone thinks this is going to be a formality.
I just don't think they have.
And City don't have to. City could tie and lose the league. So that's not out of the question either.
No, it's not. I'm just saying that out of the two games, on paper, Wolves is the harder matchup than Brighton.
Yeah, I guess.
And God knows the state of Mo Salah and Firmino.
Well, they're not playing tomorrow,
No.
or they're not playing today when you're listening, guys. We do record on Mondays, if you didn't know that by now. And they're not playing, so who knows? Who knows? We don't know what Wolves is going to show up. We don't know if they're really going to go for it. We don't know how they want to end their season. But I get what you're saying. On paper, yes, Wolves is a tougher game. And you feel sorry for Liverpool.
I do.
And that's cool. I don't.
I know you don't.
I don't.
Because you're heartless.
I don't. But I don't feel bad for them for it.
Because they've only lost one game.
And they lost to City. and they drew games that they should have drawn.
No, you're right.
So I don't feel sorry for them. And just like if City were to lose this weekend, I wouldn't feel sorry for them either.
Well, if City lose this weekend, I have no sympathy for them at all.
So why would you feel sorry for Liverpool?
Because you're gonna end the season with 97 points. Assuming you win, you're gonna.
So City would end up with just as many. So that point does not stick with me.
No, they would not.
Okay, well you're saying you're saying that Liverpool would end the season with 97 points.
Assuming both win.
And then if let's say City were to win, they're gonna be in the same region. So what's the matter? I don't care how many points they got. They had chances to win the league. They had chances to close it out. They had a chance to go to City and win the game, and perhaps that's the league right there. They had their opportunities. They blew 2 cup competitions to win the league and win the Champions League. And we always said here, although we may not kill them for not winning anything, which we still should, but we're trying to give them the benefit of the doubt. The end of the day is they blew 2 cup competitions that they probably could have won and showed that they won something for the Champions League and the Premier League, and they're going to probably end the season with none. So I don't feel bad for them.
Yeah.
I probably can't kill them because of that point tally, and that's going to be the highest point tally for any team that's finished in second, and it's going to be one of the top 5 point tallies, we're assuming, in Premier League history. But I still don't feel bad for them. They don't get any of my compassion.
No.
So that's kind of where that goes. City here. You could say Leicester are full value for a point, but I've seen Leicester do that a lot this season. I've seen them go to places where they possibly should have won games, and they just don't have that extra bit of quality in the final third to finish chances. And that's the reason why they've lost games. I'm pretty sure that happened against Spurs this season, and I'm pretty sure that's happened on other occasions this season. Where, yes, they're a nice side, and I think Brendan Rodgers has done a very good job. And I think they are better than Wolves, and I think next season they will be better than Wolves.
Yep.
No question about it. And I think that, look, they went there, they kept them quiet for the first half, and I think,
And long stretches in the second, too, already.
Yeah, but they didn't really offer anything in the second.
No.
They had that one chance with Madison, which I knew he wasn't going to score, because he's going to score one every 5 to 6 times.
The one where he bends
just shoots, yeah.
Around, yeah.
Yeah. But it just wasn't City were on. I want to say that. I don't want to say they're on cruise control. I really do genuinely think that they're tired. And they were playing very slow and lethargic, and it didn't look like it was going to happen based on them. Leicester did a good job in terms of their shape, but if we rolled this back maybe a few weeks ago, City probably win that game convincingly. But it did stem from a moment of brilliance from Vincent. And good for him. Could be his last big moment.
That was going to be my question. Is this how if they do win out and let's say they've already won one, they win the league, that's two, and they possibly win the treble, or they don't. But do you see that this is the way he goes out?
I don't know if he'll ask for a move, but it's something to consider. I do think it's very important that I think it's nice that he did play a key role in the run-in and he has been healthy and he's limited his mistakes, because I don't think we live in a reaction-based world, and reaction Twitter did think that they should build him a statue, and I don't think that they should.
Okay.
But I think it's a very good moment for him, and if there's any way to go out, it would be that way. But if he wants to stick around and if he's okay with playing a bit part role, which I think he should play at this stage of his career, and he probably will given his injury history, it's a great way to go out. So
do you think Fernandinho's in the same boat?
Well, there's a lot of them that have to really look at themselves. I heard Gundogan's leaving.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I did hear that is a rumor that he's probably going to go. But Fernandinho's 35. David Silva gotta go. David Silva gotta go. David Silva gotta play. He's gotta play a bit part role next season. He is. I said on this podcast, bald David Silva over David Silva with hair.
Yeah.
And he's proven it week in, week out. It's just not working for him, man.
No.
He struggled again today. He doesn't take control of the game. There's the rumor that that they're going to sign Bruno Fernandes from Sporting.
I saw that.
And I think that would mean that he would play high with Kevin De Bruyne or Bernardo, and they'd be fighting for positions. And I think that.
But doesn't he play that Fernandinho role?
No, he's an attacking midfielder.
Oh, he's an attacking midfielder.
Yeah,
He scores.
yeah, I know. Someone, I'm not gonna name his name, but someone did say, "Oh, this is a." I don't know if there was his joking tweet.
Oh, okay.
It was a bad replacement for Fernandinho. I'm like, they don't even play the same position.
Oh, okay.
Like, relax. But I think that's a good move for the player, because working under Pep could really help him elevate his game to the next level. And I don't think that there should be much of a difficult transition, because Bernardo is there to help him out. All the cultural issues, and there are a lot of Portuguese players that do play in that league, and they can help him assimilate to to
And there's a lot of people. There's a number of Portuguese speakers there.
Yeah,
Bernardo Silva, Ederson.
Yeah,
Jesus.
Yeah, so that
I think he'll fit in quite well.
So they're gonna help
Spanish player.
They're gonna help him, but it's also a step up for him, because the level that Pep demands. And he's going to demand, and we've seen this with Riyad Mahrez, who was a big fish in a smaller pond. It's difficult when you have to play to your supreme level every single week, and knowing that if you don't play at that level, then there's someone ready to take your place.
Do you think he asked for a move?
I'm not too sure. I think he should stay. I think that he can play a key role. This was definitely
learning curve for him?
A learning curve for him. And it's also, like, you can't really say anything, because even with him, Leroy Sané has faced the same issues as well. Leroy Sané is not a regular starter.
Right.
And he's been in and out of the first team this season. So they know that you got to play to your best or you're not going to play. So I think that's a big move for them. But I am worried about David Silva. There's a lot of that guard that is coming to an end. And I think it would be nice if they play bit part roles, so that they can ease in the new players and develop them into leaders.
Right.
Because that is something that was very pivotal at Manchester United under Ferguson. And I think Guardiola could translate that here, because I look at Fernandinho, I look at Kompany, I look at David Silva, and I also look at Sergio Aguero. As good of a season as he's had, I also look at him, and I feel like whether it be next season or the season after that, Manchester City have to look past him.
Right. No, I agree. I actually was on the same lines as you. There's a number of players that are reaching their end at that club, and I think it's key for City to kind of keep them integrated and slowly move them one piece at a time. I think it would be a mistake to move them all at once for leadership and for all those extra things that we don't see on a day-to-day basis in the locker room and whatnot. But I do agree with you. I think you will slowly see Manchester City retool. My other question for you is, do you see Pep? Any chance Pep is not there?
Next season? Next season?
No, not next season, but the year after. Even next season.
Like,
let's throw both of those scenarios.
Okay, well, it's going to be there for next season. So
okay,
whoever is hoping that he decides to go to their team, it's not happening.
Okay.
And the year after that, we'll see. We haven't seen him really work past the 3-year cycle.
Mm-hmm.
The Bayern thing is understandable. I think here he's integrated a very young squad, and that's something that he didn't really do at Barcelona. There were players there that were younger, but not the entire, like a core of the squad wasn't reaching their peak or near that. Mm-hmm. And the Bayern thing was just, when you look at their squad, a lot of them were slowly reaching that point, mm-hmm. and he obviously could have stayed there, but we knew it wasn't going to last, and the whole Champions League issue. We'll see. I think that he could be the first coach to three-peat it since Ferguson. I think he'll be a favorite to do that, and I think he's going to want to do that. But I think a lot of what happens in Europe and how their summer goes will determine that. It's very difficult to three-peat, and I feel like a lot of people take that for granted. And because he's pushed them to the limit, and Liverpool have pushed them to the limit. And it's good that a lot of those players are going to get the summer off to kind of recuperate. And we'll see what they come with next season, assuming they win that final game. Because I'm not going to be like everyone else that says like that is a for certain. No. Expect them to win, but it's not a given. And the way that they've played the past few weeks, they do look exhausted. And they got one more game to really show us that they deserve to be there. Because
I think if anybody's going to get them up and going for that game, it's going to be Pep.
You'd like to say that. I was thinking about that today, and I feel like I don't know if that's really him.
The
yeah,
motivator.
I think Klopp is better at than him.
You might be right, but I don't think. I think these players have I think Guardiola has the respect of the players that they're not going to go and it's not going to be a dud that last game.
I'm
just assuming.
Yeah.
Because
you can make that case for today where you thought they'd be up for it and they looked knackered.
Yeah, no. I'm just saying it's the last game of the season. You're just going to throw everything.
But I think Brighton's going to throw everything at them too.
Oh, I'm sure they will.
I'm sure they will. So that would be interesting. That's going to be a very tough game for them. And I think just going there and trying to get the result, that's why I feel like it's a bit tougher than it will be for Liverpool. But Liverpool won this weekend too. Mm-hmm. And they did it the hard way. And they almost didn't do it, which I wish they did, because they wish they didn't, because then that would just wrap this whole thing up. But whatever.
No, that's cool. It's coming down to the last game.
I'm going to argue that in a second too, as to why you guys do. But yeah, they won. Liverpool won. How do you feel? Because I felt like you were going to say something.
No, I thought it was just a gutsy performance overall from that team. They battled back. A lot of goals that Liverpool concede haven't been great defensively. Mo Salah goes down, and I think we all think that's the end of that. Where were the goals going to come from? Because Firmino wasn't playing either, and then you lose Salah as well, and up steps Origi with a big goal. I actually didn't think it was a foul on.
It wasn't, so we'll just get that out of the way.
But you know what? We're not going to argue whether it was a foul or not. But Shaqiri puts in a nice free kick, and Origi gets the
I'm pretty sure it's an own goal.
Is it an own goal?
Yeah.
Okay. They gave it to Origi. I would have given it an own goal as well. But look, at the end of the day, they're going to push it to the last day and roll the dice. That's all you can ask for.
That's so corny. They're not rolling any dice.
No, they are.
They're not rolling any. There's no dice. There's no dice rolling over there. They're not doing nothing.
They're rolling the die.
They're gonna pray that they don't get smoked tomorrow. Is what they're gonna do, and then take themselves over back, or they're gonna stay at Anfield.
Yeah, they're gonna stay.
Yeah, they're gonna stay at Anfield, and then try and deal with Wolves.
Yep.
Who are just gonna go there and defend and try and hit their two-man counterattack, and everyone's gonna be wowed. But whatever. I'm just hating. So
God, Wolves is really under your skin.
No, it's just I know what's going to happen to them next season. and I don't really care what happens to them this season because I've seen it before.
No, I think tomorrow's game is just get it over with and go.
Really?
Yeah.
I always gotta play. And I'm not
I know you are.
I'm not gonna do this to do it. It's just
no. I'm gonna ask you the question: where are the goals gonna come from? Where are the goals gonna come from? Because Firmino is out and so is Salah. You're gonna tell me that Shaqiri and Origi are gonna break down that Barcelona defense? We'll talk. I don't want to get too much into that into the Champions League, but I don't see them scoring 4 goals past Barcelona.
No, they really only got to score 3, then go to extra time.
Sure.
Only?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, easy task.
Exactly.
Okay, whatever.
So,
I really don't care if they don't do it. I just don't like when people say it's impossible. And
nothing is ever impossible. I never said it's impossible.
But by your tone, it's kind of like, oh yeah, it's impossible.
10% chance.
Well, I don't want to do percents either because I don't care about percents.
No,
that Barcelona side, you're making it sound like, oh, they're not even that great defensively, and they could get exposed. And I don't care if Firmino or Salah aren't there. Okay. It's just the fact that they're playing in an environment and they historically aren't very good on the road, and Messi historically doesn't play that well on the road. Okay. And that's not going to say that they're going to come back and save the tie, but at the end of the day, it's not like going to be a foregone conclusion.
What did Messi say to the Barcelona fans
before the season started? I don't care what Messi said to the Barcelona fans before the season started.
You know what he said.
I've watched them all.
What did he say?
I've watched them all.
What did Messi say?
He said something in Spanish that they're going to win the Champions League.
There you go.
And he's lucky that there are no. He's very lucky that there are no great teams there because a great team would beat them. They're not that great of a side. They're not very good on the road, and going to Anfield is not easy. And yes, Mo Salah not there isn't going to help. Is a big blow, and Firmino not there is a big blow. But to say that they're not going to get that there are no goals in that squad is a bit unfair to them.
Okay, that's fine. If you think, then I'm going to counter that. If you think that,
yes, I think that any of the players that are not as good as Firmino or Salah can score a goal.
Sure, you're going to need 3 of them.
Okay. And I never said that Liverpool are going to come back and win. Okay. But I'm just, it's not going to be a foregone conclusion.
And we're not going to give a percentage.
No.
No.
We'll just leave that there.
We'll just wait till the game.
We'll leave that there. I don't like. Let's not make
Liverpool come back. I told you so.
Let's not make Barcelona world beaters here.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that with that squad,
I've seen lesser players score on that Barcelona squad this season, at home and away.
I'm not arguing with you, but you've given any team a 3-goal head start.
Okay, but I never said they were going to win. I never said they were going to come back and win the tie.
Okay, but neither did I. I'm just saying that this is a big task for Liverpool to make this tie interesting.
Okay, you're supposed to say that.
Yeah, well, because that's the reality of it. I'm not going to say, that the tie is over. The tie is never over. There's always a second leg. But if you're asking me, are Barcelona the favourites to advance? Yes, they have a 3-goal head start.
Okay.
And Liverpool are missing 2 of their key players. So, with that being said, yes, it's going to be very difficult to overturn the tie. It's not impossible, and I never use that word, but it's going to be very difficult. Go ahead, Hugo.
Basically saying very difficult. Whatever.
I'm
gonna leave you. I'm gonna leave you. You can't. You're like leaning on the fence, but you don't want to say it. It's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool. That's fine.
It works to Barca's favor. Let's say that.
Yes, it works.
Like tactically, it massively works to Barca's favor, and we saw in the last few minutes of the game where Barca was just countering, like 3-on-2s, and Liverpool are a counter-attacking team, I believe. So if you just sit back, let Liverpool attack, and then just try to take advantage of the little spaces of pockets they leave behind, all you need is that 1 goal. Right? Barca just need 1 goal at Anfield.
I know. We'll see if they get it.
And if they get that first goal,
I know. I hope history doesn't.
Good luck.
I hope history doesn't repeat itself. That's all I'm gonna say.
It does.
because if it does, they're gonna get killed, and I'm gonna kill you too.
Who's getting killed?
Barca.
Liverpool?
No, Barca.
Oh, Barca.
Because it happened last year. If I want to refresh your memory, when they were up 4-1 and they lost 3-0 in Rome.
Oh, yeah.
So with players that aren't as good as Firmino and Salah, The
True.
players that did find ways to score. So
Well put.
So that's why I'm always going to lead on the history side. I'm always going to lead on Barcelona going away and really never winning in their knockout ties away from home. It goes hand in hand with Pep. So that's why I don't want to kill them for that. But yes, on paper, no Firmino, no Salah, they're screwed. But yeah, that's how we leave it with that.
What's next?
Liverpool. Well, I wasn't even done with Liverpool in regards to what happened in the league. But yeah, they're going on. They're doing whatever they got to do. They're going to face Wolves. There was something about the title race. Yeah, the title race hasn't been that exciting.
No, you don't think so?
No, I've had the same league leader, barring that they've played the same amount of games, since March. And it's never changed. So
Premier League's back though. Can we finally say that? Can we finally say that?
No, because the other 4 teams that we're going to get to in a bit are a bunch of bums. So it's not bad. And they stink. And I don't know how good Liverpool's going to be next season because I don't know if they can get better than this. I don't know if they can replicate. We always felt that City could.
We know Chelsea will get better.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that in a second. I always felt that City could get close to 100 but not hit 100. But I didn't expect Liverpool to get 90 plus points this season. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of stuff has gone their way for them to get 90 plus points this season. And they've relied on a lot of, I don't want to say luck, but good fortune and perseverance and resilience towards the end to get late goals.
That's what good teams do. Great teams get those last goals, those.
Yeah, but sometimes that could be a one season thing.
Yeah.
You can't replicate that. It's difficult to replicate that. City have gone about it a bit different this season. They haven't really relied too much on the late goal like they did last season. And they're still kind of where they are, and I expect them to be there next season. But I don't know about Liverpool.
But we said that before.
And I don't know who else is going to be there. So
we've said that in the past that this out of those 2 teams, the team that is best equipped to have another long run, both domestically and in Europe, is that City team. And this is a big summer for Liverpool off the pitch as well. We're going to have to see what they do in the transfer market because they do have some good young players on that squad, but they're going to need some replacements, some new guys to come in. Maybe even guys that can push those 3 strikers that they have right now, because there's a considerable drop off when one of those 3 are not in the starting lineup.
And we don't know if any of those 3 are going to leave this summer either.
No.
So and I do question Klopp as to whether. And I've always questioned Klopp as to whether his system is sustainable over a long stretch. And we saw that at Dortmund specifically, where they kind of had a 3-year window where they were able to play at the highest level. Then there was a bit of a drop-off. Players start to get tired. They look tired. He lost players, brought players in, just was unable to get them to play to the level that he wanted to. The demands, it's difficult. So I'm interested to see how he grows. Because he has grown this season. I haven't seen them play this way where they're able to go places and kind of comfortably get results without pressing as much as they did. They did less serve pressing. They did less pressing than they did last season. And they're able to manage games much better when they're able to break teams down. And I think that's essential. So it's going to be interesting for them. I obviously wish them good luck, whether I don't like Wolves or like Wolves. So we'll see how that goes. And if they win out, well, kudos to them for fighting till the end. And if they don't, it's tough. Like I always said that we're going to kill them here because they've invested all this money and Klopp hasn't won a trophy there yet. And the fact that, there are no excuses. And I still feel like there are no excuses. I will give them credit for pushing it to the end and pushing City to the limit if they do lose out. And I will give them credit for bringing it to the last day, obviously. But at the end of the day, you are judged by... And I will give them credit for bringing Liverpool back to where they want to be. Mm-hmm. But he has to be able to sustain that as well. So just because you finished second and you brought them close and you had this record tally in points, that's nice, that's great. But you have to be able to sustain that title contending mentality and that title contending status next year and the year after that to get the full praise. And I know it's difficult, but at the end of the day, when you purposely throw away 2 competitions, we can't really give you a pass. And if you walk away with nothing, then we kind of have to laugh at you a bit. And I don't know how much I'm going to laugh at you. We'll give you a little Kawhi laugh. That's how I feel about it. But besides that, that's where I stand with that. And I'll decide, depending on how I feel next week, we'll see where we go with that. Well, since we're done with that, we'll get to Spurs because they're losers. And Dan's little hot take is about to probably not live up to its expectations.
Hey, listen.
Yeah. If Chelsea lose to Leicester,
That's right.
and doesn't that?
Yeah,
Dan.
that's very possible.
Yeah, you're gonna shit on my.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna come right back with you that there's all my 70 and 71. Now there's a chance.
Okay.
There's a chance.
I don't even care who they play. It doesn't matter to me.
I don't know who they play.
Because they're gonna be exhausted midweek and then they're gonna play the weekend. And it don't even matter because at the time that you were speaking,
play at home with Everton.
Yeah, great. At that time when they were speaking that hot lava, you were wholeheartedly certain that they were the 3rd best team in England and nothing else was close to them. They are in this dogfight and they deserve to be there because they stink.
Yeah,
they stink. I don't care. They stink. So they finished 3rd. If they finished 3rd by 2 points over that Chelsea team,
or what? Best team in England.
Hey.
Yeah.
If that's how you want, if that's gonna make you feel better, that's not gonna change anything. Because I know, and everyone else knows, and you know what they are. So we'll leave that there.
Is Harry Kane leaving?
We don't know.
Okay.
They're not the team that you thought they were.
No.
And it's funny because you killed them before you made that proclamation. They're the team. They're the team that you killed.
Yep.
And then you got caught up in the moment.
Yeah,
the lights got a bit too bright. They're not very good.
No.
And they're very stupid. And they deserve to lose that game.
But yeah. Actually, but you know what?
You can't get 2 men sent off. You can't.
No, but I think the first one's soft.
It's a such a guy.
No, I just think that's not a red card.
Okay.
You just pushed him. Come on. Like the other one's red. On Voigt, 100%. There's no argument. Nobody can give me an argument in this world for that one. But I had the first one on Son was he just pushed the guy. Didn't headbutt him. Did not. He just pushed him. Yellow card. But
that varies from ref to ref.
No, exactly. At the end of the day, he decided to send him off. It's on Son as well.
I was waiting for that.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I'm not taking out I'm not going to give him any pass. That's stupid. You got to keep your head. Knowing the situation that they're in, with the players that they have available at that time to get yourself sent off, it's dumb.
Son just don't care. He don't care. He knew he was going to get a booking in the Champions League. He's like, I don't care. Got to sit out the first leg. He's going to play the second leg, and if they don't win, he's happy that he don't got to play the next game.
That's right.
So he's happy.
Yeah. Starts his vacation early.
Yeah. So now my question. So now we're gonna play questions. So who's gonna score for them? Who's gonna score for them against Everton?
You gotta pray that Fernando Llorente scores some goals.
Oh boy,
Ericsson.
Okay. You wish.
Lamella?
You wish. Also, Brandon helped Spurs for a long time too. Forgot to mention that. But no, none of those guys. Brighton.
Oh, Brighton. Yeah.
When Spurs should have lost. When Spurs should have drew.
Yeah, they did.
Whatever, man. They really bottled it again, and
they got some help from the people underneath them too.
Well, yeah. Well, they only got the help that they're gonna finish in the top 4, but they bottled it.
Yeah,
and Nathan Ake scored.
Yeah,
and that's fair. And we'll see how they end the season. For Spurs, we'll see what happens next summer. A lot of players are rumored to go places. Harry Kane is not one of them.
No, but I heard Ericsson has already agreed to a deal. Is that true?
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. I don't know for sure. I'm not
okay. Lucas Moura will score.
No, he can't.
No. Okay.
He probably can, but no. It's not reliable. Not more reliable than. But yeah, we'll see how they go. If I assess their season now, because I don't want to assess their season next week. Look, I'm not having the whole Pochettino didn't get money to spend. I don't really care. No, I don't.
He didn't though.
That's fine. I don't know what their realistic targets were, but they definitely had a squad to finish in the top 4, and they've done it for the most part. So
They've exceeded expectations.
I guess because of the cup competition.
Yeah, Champions League.
And they were supposed to do a bit better there too. So I know
In which competition?
in the Champions League
No.
because
They're in the Champions League semifinals. I think that's a success for them. No.
they could have been there. Well, who did
That's a
Juve
huge
play in
success
the
for the
quarterfinals last year? Real Madrid, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that would have been a step up. They should have been in the quarterfinals last year. So
Yeah, no, I know, but if you're telling me that at the beginning of the season, Tottenham says you're gonna end up in the top 4 and you're gonna get to the Champions League semifinals. I mean, I think if you're a Spurs fan, that's a success for a club like that. No.
For sure.
it is, but I look at how they got there. That's why.
Sure.
So
Sure.
yeah, if I'm a fan, I'm gonna take it and run. But
Yeah.
I look at how they got there, and I look at their nice little pathway.
But I think that they're another club that this summer is going to be a pivotal summer to see what the make of that club is going to be. Are they going to be able to keep
Poch.
those? Are they going to be able to keep Poch, and are they going to be able to keep some of their bigger talent next year?
I hear when we say that about Spurs.
Poch is the biggest piece, though.
Yeah.
If they lose Poch, it's like
Yeah, I know they're
shambles.
No, I hate the bigger talent. I don't know what they have no talent.
Oh no, come on.
They have no talent that I'm looking at and be like, oh yeah, I want him. Even Eriksen's kind of like
system based, right? That's why.
No,
the
I
coach is important.
think there's two. I think you're looking at Kane and you're looking at Eriksen. Those are the two top pieces in that club.
Yeah, well, Eriksen.
You can even argue about
nope.
Who?
Nope. I don't care who you say. Nope. Nope.
I was gonna say one of their backline.
Their backline is solid.
Alderweireld is getting up there, and he may go to. He was United bound, but United don't want to give Mourinho the money to spend for
Right.
it. And Vertonghen is Vertonghen, man.
No,
I don't think Vertonghen is that good, but a lot of people want to go on that ledge, and the fullbacks ain't great.
No, but for a club like that, you start losing those kind of pieces.
I think a lot of those players, that's the ceiling for them.
Mhm.
If they want to be key starters.
Yes, but what I'm saying is for a club like Spurs, you start losing, whether that's their ceiling or not. I'm just talking about losing the players, because clubs are gonna come calling for those type of players. And what are Spurs gonna do when a club? I'll give you an example. What if Napoli won Trippier?
Sell him.
Okay,
And then who are you going to replace?
Who are you going to replace him with?
They could find Trippier is not a great right back, and they could find an.
That's just an example.
They
Like
could find
Eriksen
well, they have Serge Aurier, who's just as good.
Okay, but now
There's not much of a drop off, and they could find another right back. They got Trippier from Burnley.
No, my point is that now you got to go out and you've got to spend some money. And we've always said that that's the problem with a club like Spurs.
They've proven to.
And they need to acquire players, elite players, which they can't do.
When they've lost players, they're able to replace them.
Yeah, well, it takes a few years though. That's the thing.
They could find an adequate Premier League fullback and get him over to Spurs.
Okay.
If they were to lose, let's say they were to lose Danny Rose, they could go to Leicester and get Chilwell.
What happened to Dele Alli?
He's still there. If they want,
we didn't mention it.
Yeah, but do you know how much Chilwell's going to cost them? It's going to cost them at least 30.
Okay. They're gonna let Trippier go for 15, 20. They have money. It's not that they.
But what our thing is they've got to spend money, and all of a sudden, if you're starting to lose some pieces like Harry, like Eriksen, like Danny Rose, and etc. Now all of a sudden there's a number of pieces that are leaving.
Yeah.
And now you've got to open up the bank and bring people in.
You guys are blowing this way out of proportion. They're
No.
They're
They won't be fine.
They're gonna be fine. They've lost bigger players than Eriksen and Harry Kane, and I'm looking at Luka Modric in particular.
Yeah.
And they were fine.
Fair enough.
And everyone thought the world was gonna crumble. They're gonna be fine. They lose with Trippier, they'll get another right back, and they don't even have to get a right back that's as established. When you look at all those players that came in, no one thought they were going to be as good as they were, like Trippier, like Dele Alli, like Danny Rose, like Son.
That's what I'm saying. Poch is key.
But they could they've got. Look, they may not find someone like Poch automatically, but they'll get it right. They'll get it right. That's just how it goes. That's the nature of the game. You're not always
United.
that's okay, but that's the nature.
Years.
That's the nature of the game. You lose Pep, you're not going to get someone just like him. You lost Mourinho in his pop, you're not going to get someone just like him. When you lose a manager like that, you're going to have to expect some sort of drop off.
Decline, yeah.
So I'm not worried about them spending money. They're gonna have to replace whoever they got to replace, or they're gonna have to go somewhere else and do it. So if Eriksen goes, if someone's giving them a lot of money for Eriksen, you could take that right now.
Yeah.
Right now. Kane, we still need to really have a conversation about him and whether he could play elsewhere. And that's something we could do in the summer if that's to come. But we don't know if he can play elsewhere.
Do we think he's at his peak?
We don't know if he's a system player. We don't know if he could play outside of England. We don't know if he could go elsewhere. We don't know if he could adapt. So, there's so many different factors that come into play that I don't really want to be like, oh, if they lose Kane, it's going to be, it's going to be the end of the world. No. but then I trust, as much as Daniel Levy has his ways, I trust him to get it right because he's been here before, and they may have to suffer a few years where they're not going to be the top 4 club that they historically aren't anyways, and get it right. But, they have to really realize, they have to make a decision as to whether they're going to be a buy club, if they're going to try and push for a title, which they may think is right now at the moment a bit unrealistic, without really cracking that transfer, the wage bracket that they've set. Or they could be settled with what they have and look for other players that they could try and get Poch to mold into great players. That's kind of how that game was going to work over there. And I don't know. You could argue it. You could fight it. You could say that's wrong. But Daniel's not gonna budge. And whoever's they're selling to is gonna play just like you say they're gonna pay premium dollar. Whoever's buying their player is gonna play premium dollar as well.
No, it goes both ways.
And they lost Gareth Bale. You guys are they lost Luka Modric and Gareth Bale, and you guys are here killing me over Harry Kane and Christian Eriksen.
Poch was always there.
No. Poch wasn't there. No, they had incompetent managers. They had Harry. Yeah, get out of here. Get out of here. They lost Gareth Bale. Harry Kane ain't Gareth Bale when he was Gareth Bale.
No. Sorry, man.
And Luka Modric better than Christian Eriksen.
All right, let's move on.
Yeah, Arsenal stink.
Yeah. Wow.
No, we start Arsenal, or we start with.
No, I want to leave that other team till the very end.
Okay, Arsenal. Great first half. Not great first half. Decent first half. Went to sleep the second half.
Okay, let's move on to Chelsea.
No,
because that if you're talking about teams that have blown their chances of getting into the top 4, that Arsenal's right up there.
Who cares? They're gonna win the Europa League.
So I have a question. So
says Troops.
If that guy's an idiot. If they win the Europa League, does that mean there's 5 teams?
I'm just gonna Google this right now since we discussed this last week, and I figured that you would do your Googles and get that.
Do they still have that in play? They're always changing.
No, I think
they probably do get a Champions League spot.
They do, but I don't know. We don't know how it works for England. What happens if we're really doing the BBC? So that caused a bit of a mess if English teams win both European competitions and neither finish in the top 4. BBC, give us all the May 5th. So this is new. Let's see. Tottenham and Liverpool have both reached the Champions League semi-finals. If one of those sides become European champions and finish in the top 4 of the Premier League, then only 4 English teams go into the next season's Champions League.
Okay.
The extra group stage, whatever. However, if an English team win the Champions League and finish outside of the Premier League's top 4, an outside possibility for Spurs, then 5 English teams will go.
Okay.
So there you have it.
So Arsenal could still end up in the Champions League if they win.
That's extra pressure.
Hold on. Here we go. This is where it gets interesting.
Oh.
This is where I was talking.
Okay.
This is because I knew something like this happened. What if an English team wins the Europa League? Arsenal and Chelsea are both in the Europa League semi-finals and are among the favorites to lift the trophy in Baku. If either of them win the tournament, they will qualify for next season's Champions League group stages. If the winners finish outside the top 4 in the Premier League, it will mean 5 English teams will be in the Champions League.
Yeah.
However, if they do finish in the top 4, then England will not get an extra spot.
Right.
The team who finished 3rd in the 5th ranked League France will go into the Champions League group stages instead of the qualifiers.
Okay.
So that means if Chelsea win the Europa League,
yeah,
it says, however, if they do finish in, okay,
means there's only 4.
so they should be fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chelsea should be fine. Your chances.
Well, Chelsea are already in the top.
Chelsea's in the top 4. Anyhow, Arsenal kind of blew it. Troops is upset. They think they're going to win the Europa League. Shout out to Arsenal Fan TV, I guess, because we're giving you some promo. And not that you really need it, because everyone loves your rats. Unai, they're trying to kill him, but I can't really kill him because you got Stefan Lichtsteiner playing as your right back. And what Troops kind of said, I'm not going to give him airtime today, is kind of right. They're just not good.
They're not.
They just don't have a really good squad. And who did they really buy this summer? Lucas Torreira.
And the Gunduzi?
Well, he was young. He came through the academy.
No.
Yeah. Or they bought him. If they bought him, like, that was... Okay, if he didn't come to the academy, which they bought him from somewhere.
Yeah, from France, from a 3rd division club.
Yeah, but that wasn't a marquee
Oh,
sign.
no, of course not. I thought you were just saying,
No,
did they
no,
bring in anybody?
No.
Just say those 2 guys.
Okay.
And Lichtsteiner, I guess, too.
Yeah. They bring no one in.
No.
And they have this whole Ozil drama. He's adapting to the league. I give him a pass. Unai gets a pass. And
Ozil's adapting to the league? Is that what you just said?
No. I said he's adapting to the league, and he had to deal with Ozil.
Oh, okay. As in Unai said.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So we got to see where they go from here. And when I mean they, I mean the board.
Well, this is another club that, in the same situation, big window, because there's some players on that squad that are just not good enough. Just not good enough.
Okay, yeah, they need a back line. They need a central midfield still because Lucas Torreira isn't just it, and they lost Ramsey. A lot of players there are just not good enough.
Yep.
But
we've said that for a while.
But it's kind of crazy that they still beat a lot. They beat a lot of teams that should be good enough.
Yeah.
Specifically in the Europa League. Like if they knock out Valencia and they knocked out Napoli, well, that's an indictment on them.
I'm not saying that. I'm not.
No, I know. But yeah, they got a lot of work to do, man. Aubameyang missed some great chances. They got smoked in the build-up to the goal. It was just very open. They have no controllers in midfield. And if the front 2 really isn't going, then they kind of really struggle. And they don't really have any options off the bench because Alex Iwobi ain't doing it. And Guendouzi is nice and he could possibly get better, but still a bit raw. And yeah, they're at their best this season when Monreal and Bellerin were running down the flanks, when Ramsey plays in the bigger games, and when they can get those front 2 into goal-scoring opportunities. And Mkhitaryan's been hot and cold. But they have
And Nacho Monreal is not a young man anymore. He's 33 years old.
I know he's not.
So
I give him one more season.
Okay.
But that is not Emery's team. And if you're going to hire him and not give him his players, and I've said this about a lot of managers this season, that it's not really going to work out, especially a manager of his pedigree.
No.
And they got to do something over there. So it's going to be an interesting window. And when I talk about that little surprise that we have, we're going to get into that much deeper. And when I talk about what we're going to be talking about this summer, a lot of these clubs are under the microscope. Every single goddamn one of them. Arsenal is one. What are you going to do? Who are you going to bring in? Are you going to back this manager? You can't tell me you backed Wegner not winning shit for 10 years and now you're going to get Unai, not give him nothing, expect him to do something. Because that would just be incompetent.
Yep.
And
that's another club, like we said about Tottenham. There's a couple players, Lacazette and Aubameyang, just to name 2 of them.
Aubameyang's old.
He's only 29.
And he ain't go. Okay. Continue what you're gonna say before I kill both of them.
There would be clubs calling for those players.
If they get more than 50, sell them.
But I'm just saying, you've just said they need a whole new back line, a couple central midfielders, and now you're also going to lose. You also could potentially lose two strikers up front. Look, how are you going to retool if you're Arsenal? That's my point. So there's a lot of clubs, not just Arsenal, but there's a lot of clubs that are going to be in transition. And to your point about what and I don't want to shed any extra light on it, I want you to do that on yourself. When you start to analyze these clubs, there's, before you do it, they've got to analyze themselves. And they've got to understand what type of club are they. Are they a top level club and they're going to keep these players no matter what offer comes in? Or are they really a selling club? They've got to understand if they're either in one boat or another. I don't think you can be in both. I don't think you can be a selling club and still want to be a top contender.
The base just isn't good enough. And the base isn't good enough for a top four. And they got to start from the back and work their way up. Because if they could get some competent signings in that department, then you could see something kind of getting together. But they just leak too many goals. They're not good on the road. And that's good that they're great at home, but they need to be better. And you want to know what? It sucks for them because there are a lot of clubs that are facing the same issues. Because when we get to the next one, Manchester United.
Oh, you want to go there?
Yeah, we're going to that. The other team won, so we get to them last.
Oh.
Yeah, we're going to end it on a good note. Manchester United, they draw to Huddersfield. Low Huddersfield.
Can I just give you a stat before you go?
Yeah, sure.
So against the top six, the three teams that were relegated, Cardiff, Fulham, and Huddersfield, in the previous 34 games were 0-0 and 34. So that means they hadn't taken 1 point.
And this was the first point that they took.
Yep.
United. They did hit the post twice, or crossbar.
Okay.
Good for them. Boy, is it ending on a sour note. Holly's no longer at the wheel.
Mm-hmm.
The wheel's broken. I don't know how he's gonna really push it back into gear. I'm gonna talk about them later, so I don't really got a rant about that.
Okay.
But this is your top four's on the line. You go to Huddersfield? Huddersfield?
Yep.
Huddersfield. How many points did Huddersfield got this season?
God off.
Like 14? 15?
Yep.
How many points? Was it 14?
Huddersfield?
15?
Last place.
Yeah.
Huddersfield
They're
has a total of...
They're the worst. They're the worst.
15 points.
15. I know I was close. Yeah, 15. You gave them their 15th point. That you want to finish. You don't deserve to finish in the top four if you can't beat Huddersfield.
No.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts.
So here's another one.
Scott McTominay scored your goal. How many players are in that squad that should be scoring goals rather than Scott McTominay?
Can I give you one more?
Yeah, sure. Hit him.
Okay. So, United under Solskjaer. Okay. First 17 games, 14 wins, 2 draws, 1 loss.
I know that was the new manager drip.
Yes.
New manager bounce.
After.
Yeah.
Want to hear the wheels coming
No.
off? Last 11 games, 2 wins,
No.
2 draws, 7 losses.
Wow.
Critical moment of the season. New manager drip bounce wears off a bit. Everything kind of sets back into reality. We saw that with Solari over at Real Madrid.
Yep.
And in those early 14 games, they kind of faced like the bottom 6 in the Premier League. And everyone was scoring goals. Rashford looked like the next big thing. Paul was dictating games against midfielders that didn't want to get within 5 yards of him. I know.
Mm-hmm.
I saw. Oh, then the miracle at PSG, which kind of solidified it.
Yep.
Fabs told us, there's only Fabs mentions he gets today. He's told us that he has to get the job. I told Fabs no. That's not how it works. It may work like that in their world, but not in my world. In my world, it's a bit different. Mm-hmm. You don't get the job just for that. You need a plan.
So
if I'm to ask Ollie what his plan is, Ollie can't tell us what his plan is. He's just gonna. And I don't like how Ollie's saying like, "Oh, a lot of these players are not gonna be there." Because boy, if Jose said that,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Boy, if Jose said if not a lot of these players were gonna be here next season, they'd kill him.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But Ollie can say it. What are you gonna say?
My thing is,
I'm not killing them.
Ollie isn't special, man. He isn't the special one.
I wasn't even going to go there. But and we had and I had said this. He's not the right guy for the job. He's not the right guy. He's not the right guy. But now, what are you going to do when next season comes along and it's the same type of performance in the first 10, 11, 12 games? You're going to fire Ollie?
Yeah, just so they did Di Matteo at Chelsea.
Yep.
What are you going to bring in? Like,
There's your point.
it just brings in another.
But that's what we said.
And that was my point that I had made months ago when they were going to make this appointment. I said it's not the right one to make.
Yeah, it was 2 against 1.
Yep.
You did decide with the right person.
But at least for this one.
Yeah.
And no problem. And now the question is, what direction is Manchester United gonna go? And I had said this, and this is a quote from someone. When you buy Europa League players,
we're not. This is the last time we're plugging.
Individual.
Yeah, this is the last time we're plugging his quote. I'm tired of his quote. It's the truth. I'm tired of his quote.
So now what do you do? Now this is another club this is the third club in a row that we're saying that the players aren't good enough.
No, they really need to scrap it then.
No, but I think they're the ones in the worst position.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Well, yeah, I think they're unless Poch leaves. Unless Poch decides, I'm going to buy her.
Okay, that's fine.
But I think they're the worst. I think they're in the worst position given the expectation at that club. Because Arsenal ain't really expecting to win the Premier League. Like, they're optimistic about it,
right? But
they don't really expect it. They haven't done it in a very long time. Spurs never. No, you know. So that's fine. United, for some weird reason, they still feel like they believe to win the Premier League. Yep. They want to be there. They are the biggest club in England. And
glory.
And look, man, direction. And it's like, hey, you're gonna give this guy the keys? Like, you already messed up. You can save yourself.
Oh.
You can save yourself. But it's gonna be funny. It's gonna be really funny. And someone was arguing with me this week about it, saying that, you know, he needs to get his players. Like, they're trying to give that argument that I usually give to managers.
Right.
But I give that to managers that are hired with a plan, that have an identity. Ollie has no identity. All he's shown us this season is that he can get them to be a bit organized, and he can play the 4-4-2 diamond and get the wide players to attack space in behind fullbacks that play a bit higher. But once that got figured out, boy, they haven't really done nothing.
We haven't seen him in tough, Champions League matches.
Boy, do they have no creativity.
Nope.
No.
And that leads to Paul. And I'm saving Paul for later. Paul's not getting any of my time today.
Okay.
Paul will probably be the first person that gets my time on that little thing.
Yep.
He's definitely gonna be number one. Because of his move to the talks of Real Madrid now and all that.
And Juve.
Oh, Real Madrid sounds like it could happen.
Yeah.
And even
I just read something, I think it was this afternoon or yesterday, saying he wants out and now he's gonna force his way out.
Yeah. So they did all of that. So he did all of that to get Mourinho out, and I was going to leave. That's all. Whatever. I'm going to save that for them. Okay. Well, but Paul's not the creative guy, and I don't know if you saw the article where they were trying to defend Paul. Save that for later as well.
Yep.
But United are in a big pickle, and that was Corey to say pickle, but they have a big issue, and Ollie's not the guy, and I said that when that they were going to make this appointment. It will set them back a few years.
And now it has.
And it's happening. And I stick to my same notion. If you have the wrong manager, they're letting Ander Herrera go too. I don't think he's that great, but I just found that interesting as well.
Mm-hmm.
You're letting the manager go. You got to let the manager go.
Yep.
And then you have players that aren't good enough. And I've said it time and time again. If Lacazette and Aubameyang ain't going to win you the Premier League, Martial, Rashford, and Lingard aren't going to win you the Premier League.
Nope.
They are not good enough. The midfield is not good enough. De Gea looks like he is coming back to earth because a lot of people didn't have him back on earth, and he kind of had to get humbled. And he also may want to go too.
Yep.
And then I heard that, then they're going to get Keylor Navas, or they're going to break the Jan Oblak release clause, because I don't think Oblak is happy with the direction at Atletico. But if you're not happy with the direction at Atletico, why the hell should you go to United?
Exactly my point. But the thing is that, and I've heard, and I don't remember who who spoke about this, but said, "Oh, I want to go to club X because they're in the Champions League. I want to play. It's important for me to play in the Champions League." How? I know what you're going to say. Oh, it's Manchester United. It's Manchester United. This and that. Yep. But a player like Jan Oblak is not going to leave a club like Atletico Madrid, where he's going to get to play in the biggest club competition, to go and play on that United team. Doesn't make any sense to me.
Promise him to win the Premier League.
Sure. You can promise me to be the king of Egypt too, but
well, no,
that's going to happen.
No. At the end of the day, if they go out and spend a lot of money and they assemble a squad that's good enough to win the Premier League, they could sell that. They could sell that on you. They could sell that. They could sell that to players. That's my thing. Is that player like as much as we want to sell the Champions League talk.
Yeah.
Money talks much more. They'll take a year off if they can assemble a team that is capable of at least getting you top 4 and playing in the Champions League the next season.
I think they need to.
If they get a high wage packet, and United is not afraid to give players a lot of money. Ask Alexis Sanchez, which is why I'm not worried about them in that regard. I'm not worried about them. My reason to be worried about their transfer activity has nothing to do with them not being in the Champions League.
Okay.
My issue with them not being able to attract players is because now the market is
ridiculous.
It's not even ridiculous. It's a war. No, it's a war zone.
Yeah, it's crowded.
Yeah. It's a war zone because Arsenal need to buy players. If Chelsea's transfer ban allows them to buy players this summer, they're going to buy whoever they can and splash as much money as they can. Liverpool are going to want to buy players. City, we get to the Spanish clubs, Real Madrid, Atletico, Barca are definitely going to look to improve. Bayern. So we look at PSG, Juve. So I look at it, it's not like...
This brings us back to there are no elite squads.
Yeah, so there are no elite squads and teams are trying to become elite. So they all need to spend. It's not like a time where you could miss out on the top 4 and all those clubs are kind of established and they only need to make one signing at the maximum.
That's my point. What is going to draw those players to one club over the other? What is the draw that they have?
Money. Money.
Yeah, and maybe you're right. Maybe
whatever they pay the agent.
Sure.
United will overpay the agent. They got Mino's pocket.
Yeah.
So I'm not too worried about United. I'm not too worried about United in that regard. I'd be more worried. I'm more worried about that no Champions League thing for Arsenal.
Sure. Okay.
And I would be more worried about it for Chelsea as well if they didn't have the transfer ban. I'm more worried about for Chelsea because they have the transfer ban.
Yeah.
So, that's the thing, right? So I don't know. It's interesting. I feel like there's more to it than just that. And I feel like United can get away with it with the money aspect. Is that they've been renowned for giving players money that they don't deserve. And
it's definitely
that's gonna continue.
Yep.
So Chelsea won.
Yes. Shout out to sorry, because I thought he's taking a lot of heat this year.
He still get his ass fired.
No, he's not.
You're not getting fired?
No.
They're not gonna fire him?
No.
Okay.
Who?
Okay.
No. Not now.
Oh, really?
No. If they sack him, no. Then I'm coming on your other adventure and ranting there.
I don't understand why you don't think that they would sack him.
Because top 3, if you're a realistic Chelsea fan, if you're honest and realistic with yourself, top 3 is as best as you're going to do with that team.
But it was never supposed to be the way that it
doesn't matter.
It matters to them.
No,
I trust me.
No,
Chelsea Twitter's out there, and there's and a lot of them, and it's a 90 to 10 ratio.
That's fine.
And they're all saying that any other manager would have been able to get top 3 given the other squads that are in that bracket without having to lose games and playing the football the way that they play.
And they never competed. They never competed.
At the end of the
start.
day,
they don't care.
I know, but it's not. Thank God, it's not Chelsea Twitter making any decisions.
I know, but the people that are making it are just as incompetent.
Well, then he may get fired.
Yeah, I wouldn't. If you were to get fired after the season, I would not be surprised.
No, it's wrong. That's what I'm saying. Look, just like we said with Emery that he needs a season, Sarri also needed one season. And were there highs and were there lows? Absolutely, in this season.
There are a lot low. There are a lot of lows.
There were a lot. But at the end of the day, he got into the top. He got that squad into the top 3.
Don't make it sound better than it is.
No, it is.
It's not.
It is.
It's not. No,
It is.
it's
Yeah.
not. It's not. It's not.
3 months ago, 2-3 months ago, you'd be saying, "Oh wow,
No.
Chelsea 3rd place."
No. Fabs had them at 3rd place at the start of the season, and if we bring back Fabs and ask him if he expects it to be like this, he would have said no. They were. I'm 50-50 on the Sarri thing, and I'm 50-50 on it now because there's a part of me that says he deserves time and he should get it, but there's a part of me that says that, look, at the end of the day, that last 4 months was awful, and 90% of it is on you.
Okay.
And if you didn't have Eden Hazard, you would not finish in the top 4 or the top 6. And that is on him. That is on him. He rarely adapted.
No, I think I think he adapted. I think he gave in to his stubbornness as time went on. He could have adapted earlier. I agree with you there. He could have adapted much earlier, and maybe if he would have adapted earlier, I don't think he would have made it so tight in the end. So yes, he should have adapted earlier.
They've been terrible to watch for the past 4 months.
You know what?
They're gonna lose Hazard.
If that's the case, they're in big. They're in
That's
big
what I'm
trouble.
thinking.
But at the end of the day, in his first year, he got where he needed to be in the end.
All he has is you could say that he finished in 3rd, but
Yep.
when you dissect it, that 3rd ain't really saying much, and he just squeaked by.
It does. At the end of the day,
It matters.
No, doesn't. No,
It matters.
no,
It matters because you're gonna come here in 18 months, or not even, maybe 18 weeks from now, and when they still stink next season, you're gonna say, who are you gonna blame it on?
Well, if they don't bring anybody in,
At some point, I have to look at him and like I'm just saying this because it's not like that top 6 was competitive at all, and he just squeaked by. So you could he could put that on his little resume, say that he finished 3rd, but anyone that really looks at that season is gonna be like, wow, like that was a train wreck. And it's a lot of it is on him. Yes, the players weren't that good, but given the fact that United were United, Arsenal were Arsenal, and Spurs were Spurs, it's not really saying much. How many points back did they finish behind Liverpool?
yeah, you can. I'm not denying your argument, but I'm just saying at the end of the day,
At the end of the day, I don't think him saying that he finished 3rd really holds much stock. And the thing is that the Chelsea fans see right through it. The ones that are there week after week, they're there right through it. They're done with him. They're done with him. Whether it be right or whether it be wrong, they are. And I don't think that he's, as much as I want to defend him and I just feel like managers deserve a chance and I would like to see him get new players, I'm not going to say that, damn, he really, it's totally different to Unai, where Unai at least, when he was trying what he was trying, he got the better out of a lot of those, he got the best that he could out of a lot of those players. Like, this was just flat out stagnant. And they're just lucky they have the best player in the league to kind of bail them out. He created 2 goals this weekend.
Yeah.
And if he didn't do that, I don't know if they would have scored.
Oh.
So that's where I go with that, right? The Premier League's gonna miss him, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Who, Hazard?
Yeah. And I remember when Pep was there was a rumor that he was gonna go to City and they were gonna pay like an X amount of money for him to go. I was like, damn, that would have been nice. At least they get to keep him. But they're gonna miss him.
The Premier League in itself.
Yeah. Well, Chelsea's gonna miss him more than the Premier League.
Well, no.
They'll learn that.
That goes without saying.
They'll learn that real quick.
Yeah, you're talking about the Premier League.
Yeah, the Premier League will miss him. That's another great player that they're going to lose. And I feel like a lot of people take him for granted because of the reasons that I kind of kill him. And I don't
He
take
doesn't score.
Yeah, he should be scoring more goals.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, he gets into too many great positions to not score. it's sickening. He'll have a chance to like really score and
everything.
Really score, and just pass it to the player that is not going to score. I'm like, come on, man, you got to do better than that. So they're going to miss him, and I'm gonna kill him too. I'm gonna kill Real Madrid too, but whatever. That's good for them. And I'm with you, Dan. I pray that Sarri does stay.
Good,
but. Like if they're to can him, it's like I can't really be upset anymore because I expected some growth throughout this entire season, and I didn't get anything. I feel like for the fans, they kind of lost the season. Barring they did get back in the top 4, so that is the positive thing for them. They may bounce right back out of it, and who knows where that's going to go after that.
Yep.
But from a coaching standpoint. I feel like he probably looks at himself day in and day out and feel like he wasted a year. Because I don't think he grew as a manager. And I feel like a lot of people are looking at him a bit differently in comparison to what they saw before.
An apple.
But that's also because a lot of people didn't take the time to invest and engage in what he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
They just kind of looked at the YouTube highlights and whatever compilations were on Twitter and like, oh wow, this guy's a good coach.
Yeah. A lot of people do that.
Yeah.
Both with coaches and players.
Yeah. Spain is dead, by the way. Cardiff are relegated.
Oh, I don't...
No, we have to announce it. Cardiff is relegated, so now we have the 3 teams that are relegated, and I think that's very key because they're the 3 worst teams in the league, and I'm very happy that they got it right this time. Fulham was bad, can't defend, and they built a top-heavy squad, and now have to pay the consequences. Huddersfield was always going to struggle this season and didn't make any big marquee signings.
Oh.
And they suffered. And Cardiff was bad since day one.
Yep.
So the 3 worst teams are out, and Brighton, boy, did they get very lucky.
Yep. Okay.
So we'll leave that there. The top 4 is somewhat settled unless Arsenal destroy whoever they play this weekend and Spurs get smoked. And we just have the Premier League race that's left, and it'll go down to the wire. Will Liverpool beat Wolves? Will City beat Brighton? Stay tuned next week. We'll hit you up with that. Spain is dead.
Yep.
Let's Go did suffer their worst defeat of the season by far.
I didn't even... La Liga got none of my time. So.
And they were extremely terrible. And I'm interested... A lot of them admitted it. I'm just interested to see how that goes because I think they have to look at Simeone and decide what they're going to do there because I don't think he can do any more. And a lot of those players are probably looking at themselves in the mirror and kind of questioning where do they go from there because a lot of big clubs will be coming for some of them. All Black obviously comes to mind. Saul comes to mind. Rodri comes to mind, who is linked with Manchester City. So Griezmann, Griezmann is the poster boy that could definitely fit in at Manchester United. So those are all things that you have to look at. And Madrid won, and they're linked with Pogba and Eriksen, and I'll save that for another day. And Hazard, and I'll save that for another day. But it's just funny that they're trying to build this squad, and Luka Modric the week before had an awful game, and apparently he's on his way out, but he's finished, and so much for that Ballon d'Or little campaign that they try to kill us with after the World Cup, and Luka really shot the bed. It's interesting that they're going to try to replace Luka and Bale and whoever with Pogba, Eriksen, and Hazard, 3 players who have never really... Well, Hazard is the one odd exception, but him going into that role means that he's going to actually have to be a killer, and I don't think he's built that way. And the other 2 that's a bit of a drop-off from Kroos and Modric. But that is all I'm going to say for that. And Barca rested half their team, and I'm pretty sure they lost.
Yeah, they did.
So,
moving on.
Germany, the title race could go down to the wire.
I hope it does.
But no, Bayern just got to win one more game.
Yeah, they have a tough game this weekend.
Yeah, I know.
Who do they play?
Away to Leipzig.
Oh, that's tough.
Away to Leipzig, and then their final game is against Frankfurt.
Yes.
But they did win this weekend, and they played. I'm pretty sure Hanover's relegated now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Serge and Coleman really struggled 1v1, but they're playing the worst team in the league. Lewandowski scores a great goal. Goretzka scores a great goal. And then they get hit in the mouth. Phantom penalty. I don't think it was a penalty.
Yeah.
And then after that...
all hell breaks loose.
Yeah, because after that he gets sent off.
Yes, he does. 2 minutes later.
And after he got sent off, the game was killed.
Yes.
The game was smoked, and I'm shocked that Bayern didn't score more, reverting to crosses, and the whole, it's like they didn't want to win the game, and then Frank Ribery came on,
decided
finished it off.
Enough of this.
Robben came on, that was nice, and
that was a little, I thought it was touching for both of them, because this is their last season for both.
Yeah. And that's, that we'll get into Bayern's transition period, over the summer.
Yeah.
But it was a pretty straightforward win, barring that goal, but they never were ever in doubt.
No.
So, and Ulreich never really had to make a key save.
Nope.
So, that was good for them.
And then Dortmund decide, well, let's just throw this away, as they've done recently.
No Royce, no party.
Nope.
But
and you know what? Look, and we've said this before about this guy, and I hope that he has a great season next year because the lights are going to be bright. But Christian Pulisic scores a nice goal, and Alexi Lawless and the rest of USA soccer goes absolutely crazy.
you didn't think he had a good game?
He played okay.
The Americans sure did think.
I thought it was the best performance I've seen from him.
Yeah, sure. I thought he was okay.
He's better than Jaden.
Yeah, but that's not my point. My point is that the lights are going to be bright on this young kid next year when he goes to Chelsea, and boy oh boy, he better produce because they're looking at him as the next Clint Dempsey, the next big American star.
Freddie Adu.
Yeah.
That example.
You know, so boy, do I feel bad for him. But at the end of the day, they had a 2-0 lead, and the old man decides to score. An ex-Bayern player too, Claudio Pizarro, 40 years old.
What?
40 years old. Scores
40 years old.
That is absolutely
still playing
correct. Yes.
For Bayern?
No, for Werder Bremen.
Oh, Werder. That's still pretty high level for 40-year-old.
I thought Pulisic was fine. I thought he was their most lively player, and I thought that they should have went up 3-0. And I thought that they conceded goals off mistakes that they made because they have a back line that isn't reliable, and that was my biggest gripe with them this season, barring the fact that Marco Reus is integral to everything that they do going forward. And that is all I really have to say about them. Because the first goal, if you could refresh my memory on how that went in, but I'm pretty sure it was a defensive mistake.
It went through Berkey's legs.
Yes, it was the Berkey Howler. There we go. See, I remember. And the second goal, it was Diallo or was it Akanji trying to shield it out? And then it got cleared to Pizarro.
Yeah.
And then,
he does his thing.
Yeah. So those are two mistakes that just should not happen at that level, especially when you're up 2-0 and fighting for a Bundesliga title. And they're a young squad. They're going to learn. Lucien has been fine, but that's how it goes. You can't. Bremen is on tough. They've had 2 tough games, and they crumbled in the derby, which isn't a surprise to crumble in the derby because that's kind of how that derby has been recently.
Yep.
But you don't crumble here, and they did, and there was just no going back from that. And it's funny because, like I said, they could have been up 3-0, but that offside, the offside was called.
Yep.
And, and they're in a good position. And when you make defensive mistakes at that level, you're going to get punished, especially against a Bremen side that is fighting. I think they're fighting for the Europa League spot.
Yep.
And that's what happens, man. I feel a bit for them, but at the end of the day, I don't. I really don't. You got to do better. And Bayern's going to win this league, and it's just how we're talking about Chelsea finishing third, and that's all that matters. In this case, hey, Bayern could finish first this season, but we're looking at this season and we're assessing that no, it wasn't good enough, and if Kovac gets sacked, you can't say shit because no Bayern fan is saying shit. That's why I feel about the Sarri thing, because it's like this has been a grind to get here, and Bayern are in a bit of a transition period. I also feel like that Pulisic thing could be applied to Alphonso Davies, by the way. But that's for another discussion.
Yes, I hear where you're going with that, but that's not right now.
Wow, why can't I kill Alphonso? No, I'm joking. I'm not going to kill him. He's not even
Does he play?
He's not even a grown adult yet.
No.
I'm gonna kill him.
Yes.
I'll kill him.
Play?
I'll kill him when he's legal in the country.
That's fine.
But until then,
He's 17.
yeah.
Give the guy a break.
He's a baby. He's a baby. But no, but the
He's
way
great, though.
no, but our Canadian Alexi Lalas is doing the same thing for him.
Exactly.
I don't know who our Canadian Alexis Lalas is.
There's a number of them, but we're not going to say their names here.
No.
Okay, but that's how they're treating him. So that's my point. Okay. Bundesliga done. I don't care about PSG because they're doing what they do.
Quickly do your roundup of City.
Syria was great
Go ahead.
this weekend.
Yeah.
Roma bought. No, I don't care about Juve. Juve's been
That
off.
sums up Serie A.
Well, no, they've been out of question since they lost.
Okay.
Since they lost in the Champions League.
Start with your boys.
Yeah, that was a great game, by the way.
Now-
Start with them.
No one. We gotta give them some gunshots.
Has to be
We gotta give them
Napoli,
some
right?
gunshots. No. Ain't no one stopping Papu Gomez, Ilicic, my boy Duvan. No one. No one. Look, man. That's a lot to get in that top 4 spot. That's a lot to get in that top 4 spot. You know what? Atalanta is great. They're great. I don't want anyone hopping on the bandwagon next season. No one's hopping on the bandwagon. Those are my boys. Those are my boys.
That's why when you were going to start with
Soon.
when you were going to start with anybody else, I thought
That was a grown man performance.
Yep.
That was a grown man performance. They thought they could bring on Carrera and try and change it, which he did create that one good chance that was offside.
Though there are 3 games left.
I know.
Okay,
So I don't care. Let me talk my shit.
go ahead.
Let me talk my shit.
Yeah.
That was a big win. And I hope they replicate it in the Coppa Italia.
Yes.
We're going home with some silverware this season too.
Yeah.
Some silverware.
Yeah.
Ooh.
No, that front 3 is great. And the system just works. And once Papu got into the game, they didn't want Ilicic to dribble the ball. Bastros thought he could stop him. Couldn't stop him. Got a bit fortunate with the first goal. But so did Parolo, who should have never scored. And my problem with Lazio, like I said, if Carrera isn't linking the play, then they don't really got nothing going. And Milinkovic-Savic was missed. And that's one of the biggest problems there. That's really one of the biggest. That's one of the biggest problems. You're gonna be on camera, by the way. That's one of the biggest problems.
Left side.
That's one of the biggest problems that they do have.
Yeah.
And but Lazio just not good enough. Not good enough. And that front 3 is great. And they just play, man.
They you know what I saw I read an article where they're trying to replicate the Ajax way. And if any team can play that type of similar type of football, it is Atalanta. And honestly, if you ask me, I would like to see them finish in the top 4. They would be interesting. The problem with a club like that is that I don't know if they could attract the big name stars to really push in the Champions League, but it would be interesting for a club like them to make it into the top 4. So a part of me does want to see them finish there.
Yeah. Now you turn around. Well, you better turn around because Inter drew.
Yeah.
Inter drew again. I'm not getting into any Inter game unless they score goals.
No.
Sorry. That's just not happening. Roma blew it at the end, by the way.
Yeah. And
I'm going to save that for next week.
Okay.
I'm going to save our Roma talk for next week.
Sure.
Because I have a lot to say about them.
Well, and we need some time with Roma.
I have a lot to say.
Okay.
So I'm going to save that for next week. And Milan today, a very open game.
Yeah,
they got it done. They got it done. Bakayoko got to start showing up to practice, right? On time. And, you ever use that excuse? I've used that excuse on a girl. You run out of gas. Couldn't make it. You ever use that excuse, Hugo?
What?
With a girl? You ran out of gas, so you couldn't make it? Yep.
Yeah.
You ran out of gas? I ran out of gas too many times. When I heard Bakayoko use that excuse, I was like, yo.
Ran out of gas. I don't have any money.
We gotta give him some.
I'm broke.
But you ran out of gas.
Yeah.
Bakayokes. And he didn't play, but they got through it. Same thing with Milan, though. And it'll always be the same thing with them. Just unable to, I would like to say, create chances. And the Piatek thing has kind of winded down, not as hot as he was when it started.
Yeah.
And I'm very afraid of what's going to happen to him next season.
Mm-hmm.
And the same thing with Paqueta.
Yep.
hasn't really played well either. And I look at their squad, it's just average. And I can talk about this with any Milan fan. You can sit down, have a spro, do whatever you guys do on your spare time, but that squad is just not good enough. Mm-hmm. And they got by today. They were very fortunate. Destro did score.
He did score.
Yeah,
I was about to say.
And Palacio was trying his best to score.
Yes.
Gattuso is still the coach.
Yes, for now.
What do you expect, man? You have Gattuso as your coach.
Well, United have Solskjaer, so
yeah, but he's defensive minded, right? You're not gonna get the goals. You're not gonna get the O.
Well, it is the sign of that. They just don't have the creative players to create the chances.
That too. Right?
So that's the problem. So there we are, and yeah, the way it's shaping up, I don't trust any of them.
I just hope, like I said, I hope your team does sneak into the
they're the best team out of all those teams fighting for it.
Yeah.
The most exciting, the best, better coached. They have the best coach.
Yeah.
They're well coached.
Very well coached. And he doesn't get enough praise, but
no. Yeah. And they're just exciting, and I think the world will fall in love with them. So I hope that they do pull it off. And if not, just get that little trophy. That's all I gotta say.
Copa?
Yeah. So that's where I stand with that. But if we're done with all that European stuff, or we get into the main event? The main event? We get into the main event?
You want to play that music for TFC?
TFC?
I don't know how that much to say, but go ahead.
TFC? You thought Ozo? Ozo?
Hey, that
J Chaps?
Listen.
J Chaps? No Josie? No thought of Joe Vinco?
Are we talking over the music or are we going to let it play?
We're talking over it.
Oh, okay.
Cut the music, man. Cut the music. What do you got to say about TFC? What do you really got to say? I waited. I told people wait till 140. We're like there.
Good away performance. They get the 3 points.
Oh my god.
I'm going to give you the classic.
You're so PR.
Yeah.
You're so PR. Just nitpick.
No, I don't want to nitpick because it's not time to nitpick. It's not, the squad is not finished. It's not the fully assembled squad. So
you don't know that.
I do know that.
You don't know that.
I do know.
What if they don't get anyone?
Well, then I hammer them when the transfer window closes and they don't bring in anybody.
That's my point. So you can't say it's not the finished part. Right now we're looking at them. This is the finished article.
No, it's not.
No.
Ali Curtis said
to you?
No, sorry.
There you go. I was like, when did you and Ali? I don't you trust what he's gonna tell you, anyways?
He has publicly stated that he's looking to bring in some players before this transfer window, or if not the summer transfer window. So I'm gonna give him a little bit of time to show me what this finished piece is and what pieces they can bring in. Yes, we've said a number of times that they're missing pieces in the back line and on the wing, and we can dissect all of that.
You're missing a lot, man. That Orlando team stinks.
It does, but you know what? The fact is that you just beat whoever's in front of you, and TFC got 3 points on the road. Yeah, well, I'm going to give you that because there's not really that much to talk about. So
I like to think that I would like to look at the fact that once again, although I think he did play the ball in for Chaps, I'm not even going to praise him for the ball.
You're going to praise Chapman for the fantastic touch?
No, because that was fluke. Jay knows. Come on, man. Come on, man. I can go DM pause Jay right now.
Okay, go ahead.
And ask him if it was a fluke. But he could tell me it's a fluke. He didn't mean to control the ball like that.
I thought he was watching enough Messi to be able to do that.
Jay Chapman, no. Whatever.
Listen, he finished. Look, even his finish, that's on the keeper. And you know me, I like to be a little harsh on those keepers.
Yeah.
So
look. What I said. You want to know? You want a full analysis of TFC?
Go ahead.
Give me a full analysis of TFC.
Break it down.
Jordan Hamilton still ain't ready.
Okay.
And he's solely relying on pace and likes to run the channels. But if it's not working for him. Pozuelo could only play good on Friday nights. I'm sticking with that.
I thought he played okay.
I'm sticking with that. No shit. He played okay,
yeah.
but he did not. I expected more.
Okay, fine. Go next.
And the contrast between his Friday night performances and every other performance.
How many Friday night games?
Not enough.
He played 2 and he scored some bombs and he looked like a completely different player. Okay?
Friday night, yeah.
Those Friday night lights.
You wanted to go party after, man.
Yo, Posse's not fooling. Does anyone else call him Posse?
No.
Posy is not fooling me. So there's something about Friday nights. They put something in a little drink. We plays much better. The midfield four did what they're supposed to do, but they were getting exposed out in wider areas, more so De Leon.
Yeah.
Okay? That's a big problem. I still think Delgado and Bradley are competent central midfielders, but they did a job. Fine. They got a pass.
Next.
Osorio scored a very nice goal. Jonathan Osorio scored the best goal of his career in Orlando. No one can tell me otherwise. He will not score a better goal.
No,
intentionally.
Intentionally. That's for sure is his best goal in a TFC jersey.
And it was in the box, right?
It was in the box.
Proves my point.
Yeah.
Proves my point. He can't shoot.
Yeah.
But it proved my point.
Can't score those 35 yards.
No, he can't score 19 or 20 yards.
Yeah.
Let's get it right. I'm not even dissing him. He has not shown me once, intentionally, that he can score from outside the box.
He's pretty good though.
Not that it matters.
He gets his fair share.
Not that matters. I'm
Go ahead.
gonna dissect Osorio one day.
That's
the back four. The best players. The only position where I feel secure with TFC is their fullbacks.
Yep.
And their starting fullbacks.
Which would be for you?
Which is, well, at the moment, it's definitely not you. Sorry what you said at Yorkville.
Yep.
So it is Aro and it's Moro, right?
Yep.
Those are their best.
I just want to be sure.
Yeah, that's the only position where I feel kind of certain about them. And I know who's going to start in central midfield, and they don't give me great games, but they get through it.
Okay.
But about that, the center backs, but they did a good job. Mind you, they weren't really facing much. Sorry, Dom Dwyer.
He is busy off field.
And sorry, Akindele. And now he's washed.
He was on a good run for a while.
Yeah, but he's washed. They should not be let. I'm happy they didn't let Nani smoke them.
No, they did not.
Okay, but it's the TFC performance that it was very cautious, and yeah, I can't. If I want to be the PR guy, it was very professional, and they got the job done away from home.
So I just said.
Yeah, but no, there's more to it, and I'm just interested to see how this goes. I like the way the story's going. I don't care.
They have a big game. What is it? In 2 nights.
Yeah, I know.
You won't be able to watch that game.
No, I'll watch it after. My point here is this. I'm not looking at TFC right now on their point total, and I don't care where they sit in the bloody table.
Okay.
Because that don't mean shit to me right now.
Okay.
And unless I told you last year, don't mean shit to me until August.
Fine.
And it doesn't mean shit to me until I get a large sample size to know what they are. I kind of know what they are.
Uh-huh.
I kind of know what they're about.
Yep.
But you're telling me that they're going to make some big changes. So I'll wait for those big changes. But right now, we'll see.
Okay.
That's all I can really say about them. They don't wow me.
Well, I haven't said either. I've said the exact same thing in less words.
Oh, but it's more like
they're not the finished. They're not the finished product. I'm gonna give them some time.
I'm gonna laugh at you.
I'm gonna give them some time before I judge them.
You're just trying to be optimistic.
Yeah, and I'm before I truly judge them, and I've made the mistakes in other leagues judging teams before. I'm going to give them some time to show me what they truly are, and when the time is right, then I will judge them for what they are.
Well, you know what's great about this is that they play again on Wednesday, and if you hit me with the same answer, we're gonna fight.
Okay,
we're gonna fight.
Well,
there's gotta be. I don't care if they win.
Wednesday
I don't care.
Watch on tape delays.
I don't care if they concede 26 shots and score 1 goal and they win. I do not want to hear job done.
Okay.
I don't want to hear they just got by.
Okay.
No, because they didn't just get by. It's not becoming a theme. I just think that they're a good MLS side because they have enough experience. Yeah, that's a bit corny, but they have enough guys that are there that they won't lose the squads that they shouldn't lose to. But I don't think they could beat the squads when it matters that are better than them, if that's fair.
That's fair.
I'm not going to say there are that many squads better than them because there aren't that many great squads in the league, but there are enough.
That's fair.
So until they do otherwise, and I feel like they probably will with the Josie back, whenever he decides to come back from his honey engagement.
No, he's injured.
Yeah, he's injured, and if I'm injured, I'm not proposing to my fiance.
Hey, listen.
No,
That's
you totally lying.
Listen, Josie can do what he wants when he wants. I'm not giving Josie any smoke. So you can do that because he'll whoop your ass like PP.
I don't know about all that.
Which part of it? First or second?
Definitely not the second part.
Okay.
And I don't know. Someone got to tell Josie how it is. I'm not appreciating how he handled that situation, by the way. So
that's fine.
He's got to prove a lot to me. He's got to do some growing up. But with that being said, when I do what I do, we'll get more of that in a shorter time span. And that's all I'm going to say. But that was episode... You ain't really got much to say.
Right? Nothing else.
You're trying to go to bed, old man. It's episode 74 of the InnerViews Podcast. Your guy Tyrrell. If you did enjoy it, if you hated it, if you know someone that would like it or hate it, you can tell them to find us on iTunes, Spotify, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, and any Android apps on their Android devices. We upload videos every day. Thank you. You're just making all the noise. We upload videos every day on youtube.com/theinnerviews. You can also find us on facebook.com/interviews where you like and follow and like. And if that's not enough, you can find me on Twitter where I try to get Dan to engage in tweeting and with Twitter people. And I also post swaggy pictures of myself on Instagram if that matters to you. And that's the interviews but that's the interviews _TV or the interviews TV. You'll find it. There's only one interviews TV. So with that being said, a shout out to the core people. Start answering some questions when you ask them, and I'll get onto that as soon as possible. With that being said, if Hugo is not going to stop making noise, we got a game to watch, and Dan has a bedtime to hit. So if you ain't got nothing to say, we'll be back on Thursday to break down everything that happened in the Champions League, and we'll break down TFC. And on top of that, we're getting back to our normal upload time, so this video will be up sooner than you expect, as will the audio. So that being said, it's your guy Tyrrell.
It's your boy Dan.
Hugo, you ain't got nothing to say?
No.
Gang, bop.
Sure.
And it's your guy Hugo, and we are out.